This episode is brought to you by the Ultimate Girls Trip. Here is our reoccurring daydream. Us at a drool-worthy pool, surrounded by our business besties. We just finished a powerful exercise on building our dream lives and executing our business goals. Join us if you are ready to be celebrated for taking up space, to feel purposeful, and to live a life of fulfillment. Go to proofitspossible.com for more info. Welcome to Proof It's Possible. Jamie and I are multifaceted entrepreneurs, the founders of the Ultimate Girls Trip, and the hosts of Proof It's Possible. Jamie and I are also sisters, best friends, and complete opposites, but somehow we always manage to stay on the same team. Join us every week to hear our thoughts on all things entrepreneurship, friendship, family, pop culture, and more. Hi guys, welcome back and thank you so much for joining us again this week. Today we are talking about some polarizing conversations that we've been having lately about motherhood and entrepreneurship and just managing it all. And basically, Jay, you're the mom here. So, it's nice of me to get on my soapbox and be like, don't do this, don't do that. But let's talk to a real mom. What's your thoughts?
Okay, so what I often hear is like, oh, wow, how do you do it all? These are common things that people bring to me. How do you do it all? Well, A, I don't. B, my kids are just so busy. I could never start a business. I could never do a podcast. I could never go on a girls' trip. I could never go to New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And all I want to say in the least judgy way possible is stop using your kids as an excuse to not do the thing.
Yeah.
Just stop doing it. So Mila, my oldest, was bawling the night before I left for New York City. I was leaving the next morning at 5:30 in the morning. She knew that. I was only supposed to be gone for 4 days. And she was crying. And I'm like, why are you crying? What has got you so upset? Did something happen at school?
Right.
Whatever. And she's like, no, I'm just going to miss you. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. It's only 4 days.
Right.
This is not unusual. My parents live in town and
they're my parents too.
I know, but they're not raised parents. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Thank God. That'd be weird.
They cater to Mila's every demand. So she lives a great life when I'm not here.
Oh, they're being
her dad looks after her.
Yes.
Her grandma comes, picks her up, takes her to her sports, takes her out for dinner, does all the things. There's no reason for her to be upset that I'm leaving. So I said to her, Bug, what is the actual problem? And she's like, I just wish I could come to New York. And I was like, there we go. Okay, there we go. We got some honesty here. She's jealous. And I understand that. I feel incredibly jealous when I don't get included on the trip or someone's going somewhere that I'm like, I wanted to go there. I get that. 100% get that. And I said to her, Mila, Mom's going on this trip because it's really important for me. I am being honored by being on a billboard in Times Square.
Yeah.
And it's important for me to go do this trip so that when you're bigger, you can see that it's okay as a mom to chase your dreams. It's okay.
Totally.
I'm giving you permission to do the thing when you're bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I stayed back and I said oh, I don't need to go on that trip, it's not important to me, and I played small, it's teaching her and her sister and her brother that playing small is what is expected of you once you become a mom. And I am just not willing to perpetuate that lie. I'm just not willing to teach them that because I don't believe that. And she was like, you're right, Mom. You're right. And I said to her, when you are bigger, you're going to maybe have an opportunity to be on a billboard in Times Square. And I hope that you don't stay home because your daughter is crying and telling you.
Because you have guilt. Exactly. Because you have mom guilt, and I think moms, I feel for moms because I'm like, how many things moms get guilted about? Is the lunch good enough, nutritious enough, big enough, too big? Is there too much sugar in their diet? Are they spending quality alone time with each child? Did they put them in enough activities?
Did they put them in too many activities?
Did they put them in too many? There's judgment around anything a mom does, anything. So if you go and let that mom guilt take the wheel of your entire life, that teaches your kids nothing good. And I remember the other, like, sort of, this podcast called Proof It's Possible, because that's like our goal, to prove to anybody that's watching things
We're
are
listening.
possible that you dream of, right? So why wouldn't your kids be the first people we care about? And I remember for me with the kids, I was doing the home show. And at the home show, I was the, like, one of the speakers for the weekend. So I spoke multiple times throughout the weekend. And it was a highlight of my career. It was a very lucky opportunity. I got to speak next to Brian Balmer, every single day, which is very cool. He's a guy from HGTV. And I remember the kids coming, and, like, they totally made like a ruckus in the audience, and, like, they were distracting me, and it made me laugh and whatever. And I just thought, like, they're probably too young to digest what this is or the magnitude of this. And that's okay. But I'm glad that they came to see me, because fast forward 1 year, it was a Mila thing again. The school, like, basically was like, oh, we need somebody to read the, like,
Orange Shirt Day.
yeah, exactly. Like, something in front of the entire school. And let's just keep in mind, these are COVID kids. Their reading wasn't great at the time. They needed the recovery years to catch up. Like, it wasn't her strong suit. It wasn't something. But to her, speaking in public was kind of normal, because she literally came and acted like a kid in the audience and talked. Her brother wandered around. Like, they saw somebody doing it in their own life, and they're like, okay, well, if you did it, if my auntie can do it, I could do it. I could put my hand up for this opportunity. And, like, all I want for them in their life is to put their hand up when an opportunity comes along. That's all I want. I want them to be brave enough and self-confident enough to put their hand up. If they're going to do a good job, if they're not going to do a good job and they're going to learn a lesson, I don't care. I don't actually care if she messes up 10 words. And the crazy thing is I was like, oh, are you going to be able to, like, follow through? Are you going to panic at the last minute? Like, I had so much worry for her about reading in front of the whole school but she didn't. She's like, no, I'm good. I know what, and I think she might have even, like, taken over the boys' part that, like, did kind of panic. Like, there was 2 kids doing it. And she like filled in at one point, and I was like, this girl's on friggin' fire. Like, nothing's stopping her. She doesn't even, it hasn't dawned on her that this is even scary. She's just doing the thing because she watched us do it. So it's doable.
And that is the message that I want every mom to hear, is that don't use them as an excuse. Use them as your fuel to do the thing. Like, don't say, I can't go on that trip because, oh, my kids don't like it when I leave, or they need me, or who's going to pack their lunch. Their dads will figure it out. Their grandparents will figure it out. They can live a whole life without you there for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 10 days, whatever it is. And, like, they need to see you not sacrificing yourself and becoming a martyr in your own life. They need to see you say yes. They need to see that it is possible. They need proof
to be
that
brave.
It is actually possible.
Exactly.
They need proof that they can be brave. They need proof that they are allowed to choose themselves. They need proof that it's okay to give up some of your responsibilities temporarily to chase your dreams. They need to see somebody doing it. They need to be your why and not your excuse.
I agree. And taking it even further than just, like, going on the trip or leaving them for a few days for whatever reason. Like, because I don't care if your reason is to go sit at the beach with your girlfriends and laugh. Like, I could care less what the reason is. But even further, if you go and, like, in the spirit of this podcast, and start the business, and they watch you work hard on that business, and whether you win at the business, lose at the business, and everything in between, they watch you do it. They watch you take a risk. They watch your ups and downs, which I know, like, in an ideal world, our kids never see anything bad, or they never see anything hard. But truthfully, that's what actually makes them realize that they watched you cry one day about your business, and then the next day celebrate because you got your product into a local store, and now it's going to sell 10 times what it sold the previous month or the previous year. Like, these are wins that I actually think you should bring your kids on the journey of that.
Well, this is the whole thing. Kids learn by mimicking. So
Yes.
they will do what they see.
Yeah.
And as they age, that will change. But a young mind learns by mimicking behaviors that they see. So if they see you crying and then pulling it together, they're gonna learn that it's okay to cry and it's okay to pull it together, and
Yeah.
that both can coexist. That you can have
Totally.
sad days and happy days, you can have
Mm-hmm.
rough days and great days, you can be high energy, low energy, that you can fail and still succeed.
Yeah.
They are going to witness you doing it, and then they're going to mimic that behavior. And whether that's like, you felt completely defeated by the housework one day, and then the next day you clean the entire house. Like, we don't have to talk about these big exponential
No.
wins or these big exponential losses,
Mm-hmm.
or really, really low days. We can talk about just like the everyday wins and loses, like the thing,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have the energy for that today, but I'm going to really get after it tomorrow.
Exactly.
They learn by watching you, and adversity is a skill they need to learn. Like coming back from adversity or fighting
Yeah.
back through adversity or
Resiliency. Mm-hmm.
resiliency, that is a skill that they need to see. So like to
Well,
shelter them from all of that isn't helpful either.
Well, exactly. And like the other thing I also think is because kids mimic what they see and hear, if you're negative all the time and you give all the reasons you can't and they start overhearing that, they will be can't do people. They will take on the reasons that you have set out in front of them, and your mindset around money, risk, what's possible for you, what's good in life, what's bad in life. They are going to be little miniature versions of you. So if you constantly complain, guess what? Your kids will constantly complain. If you constantly go somewhere and you're like, you want to know what's the matter with this place? They should have done this different. They should have went there. They should have had, whatever. Like if you're at a business or something and you complain about the service the whole time, your kids are going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to walk into every business and I'm going to pick it apart and I'm going to make them wrong and I'm going to make it bad.
Or I'm
if
going to
you're
do
like,
it on a schoolyard, like,
yeah,
it's my friend's fault. Like,
exactly.
For doing the thing. Yeah, I 100% agree. And yes, the language that you use in your everyday life and the emotions that you let prevail is what they will see. So if that's negativity, if that's the down and outer victim, like it never works out for me attitude, well, they're gonna mimic that. That is absolutely
Exactly.
going to become
And they
part of
see
their
they see themselves in
messaging.
your image. So it's like you're who they worship. You're who they want to become. You're, until they maybe one day grow up and are like, ugh, I got to undo some of my stuff. But let's not give them all this stuff to undo. Like, this is a mindset change you can do right now. And I agree with you. Like, stop making your kids the excuse for why you're not doing everything you dreamt of, and start making them the reason. Because this is the other thing. Let's say you're a mom, you start the business, you thrive. Let's just go to the best case scenario. It improves their life in every way. You're happier, you're fulfilled, you're financially secure, so you're not stressed. You are showing them that they're capable of absolutely anything they put their mind to, even if you're scared. Take the step, do the thing, just start. And honestly, all like how there's some things that are just like a no-brainer. Once you've like identified that you're doing them, you're like, I'm never going to do this again. To me, it's like, this is one of those things. Like, this is one of those things that I know that there's a mom listening to us right now who's mad, and we're sorry, but please don't just be mad and not think about what we're saying. Please go away and say, why am I mad? Why am I feeling
Why is this
judged right
triggering
now?
me?
Yeah, exactly. And it's not that we're like trying to be nasty bees over here. We are trying to get you out of the mindset that you get to hide behind your excuse. Like you get to stay the martyr of motherhood, because happiness and your fulfillment as a mom can stand right beside being a great mom. It's not one or the other. It's not one or the other. And like, Jamie, one of the funniest things that I tell people this all the time, and I think it's like actually a little bit bizarre, is that one time one of the kids, it was one of the girls, I think, basically said, yeah, my mom picks me up every single day from school. because she doesn't have a job. And I was like, your mother doesn't have a job?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, yeah, I mean, how would she have a job if she didn't pick me up every day? And I'm like, your mom gets up very early before you wake up, and she does part of that job. Like, she does paperwork, she does her, then you leave for school, baby doll, and she works all day while you're gone. And then, yes, she's prioritized picking you up. That is, but I said, do you know that your mommy has a couple of jobs, several jobs? Like, and she runs her own business, and that she's the president of, and blah, and I started giving her, and she was like, what? Like, she basically was like, did like the like little kid version of like, get it, girl. I didn't even know you were doing all that. And I thought, this is the funniest thing ever, because to her, somebody with a job meant they couldn't pick their kids up at school. Their kids took the bus home because they worked from 9 to 5 at an office or at the hospital or whatever it is that job was. It didn't dawn on her till we like had the conversation that you made money from your home. You ran a business from the office that they come in and bomb and treat as their craft zone.
Yeah.
Like, but I was like, isn't that interesting that I needed to have that conversation with her? I didn't even know she didn't know.
I know. It is crazy. It really is crazy. But I also think that like having that conversation makes her realize that like, oh, maybe when I'm older, I don't need to have a conventional job either.
Yeah.
Maybe I can prioritize picking my kids up from school, or I can prioritize going on vacation, or I can prioritize like, not being tied to a traditional 9 to 5, sit in somebody else's office type of a job. It's giving them permission to like dream a little bigger, dream a little different than what they have been exposed to.
Exactly. And I'm the first person to also say some people are better parents if they get to work out of the home and they get to get away from kids. And, like, wouldn't you say that you like work? Like work helps you like your family life better because you have something else to do all day. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I would feel really unfulfilled if I didn't have something to do while they were at school.
For sure.
And like, I know that like, doing laundry and dishes, and although it works great for some people, that's not like my calling. That's not.
Exactly. Honestly. And like, God bless you if you do like it. Come do my laundry. I would love that. And like, also make that a business. If you love doing laundry, make it into a business, because there's so many people like me that I'm like, I can't keep up. I can't keep up with this house, with my things. And that's actually,
if there is
doing physical jobs is a great business.
If there's someone listening in the Kelowna area that would like to start a laundry business, let me be your first customer.
Totally.
You can come to my house.
Yep.
Or you can take my laundry away to your house. Whatever works best for you. If this is a dream that's on your heart, let me help you fulfill it.
Totally. But seriously, that's a great business. It's just like, like I have a girlfriend that owns a house cleaning business, and she employs staff. It's a great business to be in, but that was her passion. She started cleaning houses. She's like, it's what I like doing. I'm very good at it. And we all have a set of skills. And I was like, get it, girl. Yeah. That there's zero judgment for me just because I don't like cleaning my house.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't make your dream wrong. Like,
just like you don't like doing accounting, it doesn't make the accountants wrong. No. It just means that that's not your preference. That's not your
It's not my calling. And like, thank God it's someone else's, because I'd be in big trouble without them.
Absolutely.
So no, I agree that your kids will thrive if you thrive. So whatever it is that makes you feel like you're thriving, do that.
More of that.
Do that. And like, for some people, they're going to have this conversation in their heart and their head, and they're going to be like, do you want to know what actually makes me thrive? Is having a 9 to 5 job, getting a consistent paycheck, and coming home after work and having nothing else to worry about other than being with my family. Absolutely. No spillover between work and life and family life. And that's also great. Like, that's the thing. but don't make your kids the reason you're not doing whatever that is. So
Absolutely.
whether you're the stay-at-home mom right now and you really want the job, whether you have the job or the business and you actually just want to be a stay-at-home mom,
totally.
do it the other way.
Yeah.
Do it the other way. If that's actually what your heart is saying, figure out a way to live your best life and go be the stay-at-home mom. Like the judgment is not about, it's not about what it is you choose. The judgment is about not fulfilling your own calling because of outside pressures and the excuse of your kids or your family or somebody not being in agreement with that decision.
Absolutely.
All right, friends, we'd love to hear the ways you've felt judged, the way you've used your family as your excuse to not chase your dreams, whether you feel like you've come out of a hole and all of a sudden your kids are a little bit independent. You're like, actually, who am I? What do I want?
Oh my gosh.
Let's chat. Let's do a coffee chat. We love hearing from you. And we hope that you find the thing that you love.
Bye, guys.
Bye. We are so grateful you're here.
It would mean the world to us if you'll subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel and leave us a review.
If you want to hear more from us, go to proofitspossible.com to join our mailing list and find our social links so you don't miss a thing.
Thanks, and chat next time.